Max, we've got to start locking our doors. That's
too late.
It's too late now.
Inside the building.
Here joining us to talk about the 2017 edition of the DQ Big Game of the Week, the world famous DQ Big Game of the Week, is the voice, face, hair, muscles, just
energy.
Everything of the DQ Big Game of the Week. It's the great Neil Beasley. Hey, Neil.
Thank you. I don't hear any fans clapping in the
Yeah,
background.
it's tough. Well, I mean, listen, we'll pipe it in later.
Hey, I'm just...
Texas football today is not recorded in front of a live studio.
We'll fix it in post. Don't worry. We'll fix it in post.
Glad to be here. I did notice every other host, anchor, reporter for Fox Sports Southwest has been in this chair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except for me. So
yeah, we have not had.
I know where I am in the pecking order here.
Yeah, we had
Hardigan.
I think we had Hardigan on first. Is that right?
Sure.
Maybe, and then we had Renner.
Then Renner.
Also a tall blonde.
Also Tom
Blonde.
Blonde.
We had Hardigan was on the phone. First. And then Renner was on the phone, and then we had them both in studio.
So they've been on multiple times.
Correct.
Okay.
All
right.
And now, but now we're bringing in, I think, my favorite receiver in South Florida history.
Central?
I think so too.
Central Florida. Oh,
Central?
geez, Central Florida.
That's how much he's your favorite.
We'll fix that in.
Start over in 3.
We'll fix that in. We'll fix that in post too. It's Neil Beasley talking to DQ Big Game of the Week. 15th year.
Yeah. So excited. I mean, you guys, I mean, you're one of me.
Yeah.
You feel it too. We're so excited to get going. And DQ Big Game of the Week started from literally Dairy Queen just threw some money at Fox and said, hey, we'd like to cover a game. We want to be involved in this because we love Texas high school football. And from there, it grew into what it is now, which is incredible.
And it is. Max can attest that I come on this show like almost every week on the Mondays, and I'm like, guys, the DQ Big Game of the Week is like, it's incredible. It's like what you guys do. Can you take us through just a general like how you put together this? What ends up being about 6-7 minute package?
I got chill. We haven't even started talking about it.
I know.
It's about a 6-minute feature every week. I mean, it starts from the off season when we put the whole schedule together. A lot of people don't realize. They think we kind of go week by week to pick schedules. What we pick it all. It's picked in July. Before the season ever starts, every week, every week of the season is already picked, and then that week kind of starts on Monday. I'm supposed to have Monday and Tuesday off. Well, good luck with that because every Monday you got the new coaches that have questions or whatever. Chuck Ball's our coordinating producer, and he will have questions. And then our photographer will call with some travel arrangements, all that stuff. Wednesday is really the bulk of putting all the notes we get from all the different people that are involved together into a one sheet. With basically all the information that we need. We'll fly out on a Thursday. Generally, we'll fly out, drive it, depending on how far it is. If it's past 3-4 hours, usually 3 hours, we'll go ahead and fly just to make it easier on everybody. The whole crew is out there. Kami, Jeff. We had Clark Rowe. Patrick Madrovsky has been a producer before, but we've got a new one, Tanner Rotman, producing this year. He's going to be incredible. Go-getter kid. But anyway, so we'll travel out on Thursday. Usually we'll have a pep rally or a bonfire or a DQ stuff, something on that Thursday as well. If not, it's generally Friday morning. Starts bright and early. That's kind of why we need to be wherever we're going Thursday night. And then Friday, it's pep rally. Let's go visit the cities. If we can visit both cities, that's what we want to do. Sometimes the games, teams are 3 hours apart. You can't do it. But if it's a rivalry, right, and they're 4 miles apart, which we've got one of those, we'll go visit both campuses, try and get both. If both have a DQ store, we'd love to do that too because we get more kids on there.
Sure.
The more you visit, the more kids you get. Pre-game all set up, get the whole game, shoot the post-game interview, and then try and get it all wrapped up by 12:30 at night.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I don't think people realize necessarily, because now when I do like the Fox stuff, like scoreboard, like it'll be in my ear. They'll be like, "Well, I'm still waiting on DQ."
Yeah.
Still waiting on DQ.
Still,
you don't.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize. I think they think, "Oh, well, he's turning that thing in at like 11 or like 10 o'clock or something like that." You guys are going up to the wire to get as much stuff in there as possible. Like your hard deadline's what, 12:45?
I would think like 12:45. But I'm usually editing. If I finish it before 12:30, that's generally a good night. If I get done by 12:15, that's a good night. But if you think about it, we can't really do any of the second half or post game until after the game because that's all on that card. And generally, I'm editing a bunch of stuff even before that anyway, so I can't get to it even if they did finish. We're lucky if we have the pep rally, say, early in the morning and nothing else until then I can have a lot of stuff already edited by the time the game starts. Another thing a lot of people don't know is I don't get to watch much of the games at all. I watch the first quarter. because I do want to see if stud quarterback who's thrown for 4,000 yards against stud running back who's rushed for 2,000, I want to see them with the eyeball test.
Right.
So at least a quarter. If we get a lot of stuff done, I can watch maybe the entire first half. There's some games, but other than that, I'm back in the van, editing, writing, voicing, all that stuff, trying to get it all together. And then last couple of years we've had a big bus that we traveled on. Well, in that bus is a big TV. And at midnight, when I've still got tons to edit, I start hearing, "Hey, high school scoreboard live is on now," and the DQ big game is coming up, and I'm like, "No, not yet. Wait,
can't possibly be midnight yet."
Yeah. So yeah, and generally we'll get done about 12:30. That's pretty much the time. And then Jeff will set up. We've got a big live view unit. Used to be you had to feed out of a big truck.
Yeah.
Well, or you had to find a station nearby that had an uplink. Then it was the big satellite trucks. Now it's a backpack. It's unbelievable. You can feed right out of a backpack, and it takes no time at all.
It is my favorite part of any. It's the way that I finish off my Friday night is the DQ Big Game of the Week. It's become an institution in this state, and it's so cool. We're gonna get to the schedule in a moment, but I think that you put out like a really cool like sizzle reel about like taking people behind the scenes of it. And Max, we got that queued up.
We're ready
Let's
to go.
take a look at the sizzle reel, the making of the DQ Big Game of the Week.
My name is Neil Beasley. What tape used to be and film was before that. I travel hundreds of miles every fall to capture the passion.
Starts for the end zone. Yahtzee!
The intensity.
Guys, that it burns in their heart. I need you to make an impact tonight.
Of the original Texas football Friday Night Lights.
They can't bang as hard as us. They can't hang with us.
This is the best team I ever played for, because we brothers.
New York City, get a rope.
Oh, my heavens. Hey, whatever you got to do for the kids, I guess. And me and my crew will go anywhere.
Eddie coming to pick us up.
Anytime.
Landed, long flight.
To capture all this magic. My photographer extraordinaire is Jeff Irwin.
Everybody give it up for Mr. Cameraman.
I prefer to be behind the camera more often than not, all the time.
Clark Rowe is our field producer.
The brains behind the operation.
We are going to shoot a stand-up in the street. Hopefully we don't get run over.
Good luck.
You're coming with us.
Oh, yeah.
Kami is our do-everything social media hostess.
I'm telling you, I bust this selfie stick and it's pink, which of course is great.
She's just one of the guys.
I'm so glad to be back.
Elsie Watkins is our director back at the shop.
3, 2, 1, fade up and laugh.
I never worry about those guys missing their slot.
I haven't even got any of the game yet. Finish writing, finish logging, finish editing.
Yeah, you ready to take it?
They're going to miss their slot.
There are no room for mistakes, people. Like none.
And the fun part is we never, ever know what to expect on any given week. These two teams were, did you see that thing? The Bluebonnet capital of North Texas. You know, when they're in season.
I've seen Neil do some crazy things. I've seen him dance. I've seen him rap. He can't carry a tune unless it's got a handle on it.
Kami and Liddy, photographer Jeff Irwin on the bus, producer Clark Rowe. Everybody's on the side of this bus.
Bit of voice on that.
La, 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 la.
Watch this.
I just poked myself.
Whoa! Ball game.
He's always like, zoink, and there he goes, and roar.
Play like it's your last play, but play! You have the right to determine what you will be and what you won't be.
Yes, those speeches do want to make me strap it up and play again. Why do you ask?
The whole Friday is just awesome now.
A big win tonight sets Texas football on its ear.
Fairly confident that they're fixing to win the game on this play right here.
To the 15, turn 5, Angel Bishop scores. Arkansas High wins the act. Unbelievable.
Well, I think we picked the right game. South Lake Carroll goes down for the first time in a long time, 57-53. For producer Mike Soroy and photographer Jeff Irwin, I'm Neil Beasley with your big game of the week.
I'm ready for the season.
Pretty
to start.
cool. Pretty
I'm
cool.
ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for the 15th season of the DQ Big Game of the
I
Week.
can't believe it's been 15 years. Some ways it seems a lot longer, in some ways
You
it
look
seems a lot
like you look
shorter.
like you've only aged like 13 years. He's Neil Beasley.
From 60 to 73.
Follow him on Twitter at Neil Bees. An essential follow on Twitter. And it's DQBGOTW on Twitter, right?
DQ Big Game of the Week.
Yes, exactly. Spell it out with letters. But it is a fantastic. It's my favorite way to end a Friday night. It is, and you haven't missed your slot yet. You know, they had Elsie on there saying like, oh, there's no way they're gonna miss their slot.
We've had, I think, in the entire time, we've had like 3 where we didn't hit. One was out. We did a 6-man game, our first 6-man game out in Whit Harrell, out in West Texas. Had to feed from the station in Lubbock, so we actually had to leave before the game was over, and it was 99-66. And we're like, we are going. And there's 2 minutes and 6 seconds something like that left in the game. We're like, we're gonna miss 100 points. We're gonna miss it because we gotta go.
Man,
we took a shot at the scoreboard. That's the way the game ended. 99-66.
Oh,
so we got lucky. Yeah, we got lucky. But we got back, and we were sitting there. It was back when we did tape, so we had to feed tape. I was sitting there waiting to hit play. Come on, tell me we've got it. Tell me we've got it. Tell me we've got it. And they ran out of time. And they just couldn't get the uplink. Couldn't get it synced up. You know, all that engineer talk that I don't know about. And so we missed one of those. And that's basically what it's been. It's been we went to one time out in East Texas. The engineer at the station was supposed to let us in. Fell asleep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And he came up with about 4 minutes until the top of the hour, 1 a.m. And his eyes were like, oh, my gosh. And he didn't say a word, but he opened the door and got out of the way. We ran in, but by then there's nothing you could do. So
the schedule is out for the 15th season of the DQ Big Game of the Week. Let's run through it. I want to hear what you're thinking about these games. Week 1, Colleyville Heritage at Aledo. You got a defending state champ here, and a great coach in Joe Willis on the other side. Two great coaches in Steve Wood and Joe Willis.
And we've had both schools before, and we had Joe Willis when he was at Cedar Park. Love Coach Willis. I mean, great guy. Obviously, Aledo and their history, and Coach Wood and Coach Bucky, still there, and it's just kind of a no-brainer from the standpoint that Aledo loses a lot of guys. They always lose a lot of guys. What do? They win another state title. So is this the year? And Colleyville Heritage returns a bunch of great guys and well-coached and blah, blah, blah. It's got kind of that making of possible.
Week 2, it's Grapevine visiting Abilene Cooper going west, young man. And very excited for you guys to get out to Abilene because I know when you get out there in the big country, they go nuts for you guys.
Yeah, we've been out there before. We've seen Cooper before. In fact, last time we were there, it was Lorenzo Joe. And they beat Cedar Park when Joe Willis was there. So Grapevine as well. Mike Alexander taking over as head coach. Mike is a great dude. I've known him forever. In fact, my son played at Rockwell High School. Coach Alexander was the defensive coordinator there.
Oh.
And so he loved my son Will. Will loved him. So we got to know Coach Alexander there. Went on to Mount Vernon. Did a great job at Mount Vernon, building them up, and then became defensive coordinator, now head coach of Grapevine.
Week 3, a Thursday night affair down in the
Battle of the Bridge.
Bend, the Battle of the Bridge. It's Gregory Portland at Corpus Christi Carroll.
And again, coaches.
Yeah, Rick Rhodes.
Coming from Cameron Yo.
And Andres Martinez from Carroll.
And for Carroll, we had Odom last year, and he comes from Odom. Odom lit it up last year, offensive fireworks, so you're expecting he's going to bring that same kind of offense and energy. And so we love the coaches, love the atmosphere, and we've never been to this rivalry.
Perfect.
And anytime you get a rivalry, you've got that juice.
That will be a common theme throughout this schedule. Week 4, you dip down in the small school ranks. Schulenburg, the Shorthorns visiting Weimar, another big rivalry game here, and a lot of storylines behind this.
Yeah, and the biggest one for us is Coach Hussman. It's his last game. He's retiring from Weimar, but he coached Schulenburg to 2 state titles.
Of course.
So it's his last chance to get to Schulenburg. Both schools are kind of saying goodbye to him this year too. So that's a pretty big hook for a game like that, especially to be a rivalry game.
I think we may need to reserve 2 seats on the bus for Week 5, Thursday, September 28th. New Braunfels at New Braunfels Canyon. It's the worst bowl, baby.
The worst bowl. You're just going for the food.
Yeah, I'm not even going to talk to you. Like we're going straight for the food. It's going to be great.
We've never had that rivalry before. It's obviously a great one, and it's one of those ones that's very when you think of Texas kind of a thing. The 2 cities and 2 schools in the same city. Just that love hate neighbors. The sports hate, the good kind of hate.
Of course, yeah. So and if I remember correctly, Canyon's got the red turf. Isn't that right?
Correct.
Someone said that they were
replacing it?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true at all.
You'll find out.
You'll
find out.
You'll have to watch the DQ Big Game of the Week.
Week 6, a man after my own heart. 6-man football action. Richland Springs at Sterling City. This is first of all, I love when you guys do 6-man to begin with. Hard stop. This is a colossal matchup here.
Yeah, and this was we had I probably had 2 or 3 6-man games on all of my potentials, maybe even more, maybe 4 or 5. This one kind of stood out only because I think there's a decent chance of the upset, and it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at last year, yes, this would be an upset this year, and golly, the tradition that Richland Springs has. It's kind of
8
crazy.
titles since 2004.
But it's at Sterling City. You know, is that home field advantage? Is there, do they get that? They've got an all-state running back of their own. So, I mean, you've got the possibilities.
Well, and Sterling City's going to shut down for you guys. It's going to be nuts.
Well, they shut down anyway for a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the fact that you're there is just going to be bonus for them. Week 7, October 13th, you're heading down to the Valley. McAllen Memorial at McAllen.
Yeah, we've never had McAllen before. We've had Memorial. In fact, Memorial, when we showed up last time, this was quite a long time ago, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. They had the biggest pep rally DQ stop. We stop every time, everywhere we go, we'll stop at least one of the DQ stores. They must have had 300 people out.
Man,
the team came by on their way to the game. Yeah. The team stopped by at the DQ. I'm sure they had blizzards and stuff before they left. So it was one of those, the cheerleaders, the pep squad, the band. They had the big blow up that the team runs out. The helmet was out there. So they went nuts. And
That's
in fact,
awesome.
The thing I love about going down to the Valley is every time we go down the Valley, they all say the same thing. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming down here. People forget about us, Oh, we're just down here in the Valley. The big Dallas people and the San Antonio people and Houston forgets about us. We got good football too, and they do.
For sure.
It's fun.
That's gonna be fun down there. And then because you guys are just, you guys span the state, you're going from the Valley. 7 days later, you'll be in, of course, Lubbock for Lubbock Monterey and Lubbock Coronado. Another great matchup here. And Coronado's got the big rivalry. Coronado's got Quay Gray. A lot of storylines here, and no love lost between these two teams.
No, and we've been worse. We've gone from the Valley to El Paso.
Oh my God!
But that's what planes were for. So we're good. Southwest Airlines, we love you. But this one is a good one too because it's a 53rd. It's the 2 biggest schools in Lubbock. My son goes to Texas Tech, so I'm gonna have to recruit him out to come visit. Yeah, he's going to have to come help us that week.
That'd be great.
Yeah, unpaid help. And then, like you say, the offensive fireworks should be good. Monterey returns a good number of kids. And in fact, I think in your magazine, too, they're a top 50 team.
Yeah, we're excited about them.
Yeah, and then Coronado, obviously, when you got a quarterback like that, you got a chance to be special.
And again, you're going from the Valley to Lubbock, and then Lubbock to East Texas, basically. Tyler Lee at Rockwall.
We do get a week off. I mean, we do get days off in between.
I know you do, but still, I mean, like when you draw the line, it gets crazy.
It does get
Tyler
crazy.
Lee at Rockwall. Yeah. I know you're a Rockwall homer, but
well, I was. My kids all went there, but I don't have any kids there now. So
right, but Chance Amy, Rockwall's of course got 2 stud linebackers, great coach in Rodney Webb. Fantastic matchup of like a true East Texas team against kind of East DFW, you'd call it. Yeah.
Right, the team that gets shoved out to East Texas when they every couple of years when they get realignment. I love Coach Webb. In fact, that whole staff, got to know them, obviously, just kind of living around them and getting out there every once in a while. Love that whole staff, and Coach Webb seems like he's just an offensive wizard. Everywhere he goes. Year one, they don't need time to rebuild. Everywhere he goes, they just light it up offensively. Got a move-in quarterback. So they should be not only great defensively with all those players. I think they have 9 of their 11 return, including, like you said, those 2 linebackers. They might be a team that kind of sneaks up for making a nice state run.
They could make a lot of noise. Week 10, going to Central Texas, Hutto, the Hippos taking on Cedar Park.
I've always wanted the Hippos.
To
have the Hippos.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
2 great quarterbacks in this one, Max Sexton for Cedar Park and Chase Griffin there for Hutto. This seems like, to me, a fantastic matchup that, like, you could have a real breakout game for one of these guys that could just take over the game.
Yeah, we love the kid from Hutto, Chase. 4.0 student, class, everything. I mean, you name the accolade, this kid is one of those guys that you want your daughter to meet. One of those kids. And then on top of that, the kid can throw it. He can play some football, so he's a good player. And whenever you have that, you got a puncher's chance to beat a team like Cedar Park.
For sure.
Even though Cedar Park, they look loaded again.
Surprise.
Come on. Come on. These guys, I don't know how they keep getting these kids year after year, but boy, they just build them from the ground up.
And then week 11, this you guys are doing the vote-in game again. You guys started this, was
just
last year the first year?
Just last year, and we had no idea what to expect. And we ended up we picked 5 games, and you can vote on, obviously, any of the 5 games. And 2 of those games just took off. Yeah. PNG Nederland and then Sherman Denison. And between those 2 games, there was 1 million votes. Just those 2 games. There was 1 million votes. And I felt so bad for PNG Nederland because they were voting through the roof. And they didn't get the game. But Sherman Dennison was unbelievable. It was everything we thought it would be and more. With the rivalry, 110?
Yeah, it's something around there.
It's
one of the oldest
now.
in the state.
One of the oldest in the state, and the venue, even though it was in Denison, which is great, and we got to go see Sherman's old stadium because we did a big citywide pep rally the night before. It was just unbelievable. The whole thing was great, and we're excited to do it again.
And the 5 games are you can't go. I mean, no matter which one you get, like you're going to a great game. It's P&G versus Nederland, of course.
Which we think they're gonna.
The Bum Phillips Bowl, right? But Bay City and El Campo. One of the
oldest. Yeah,
I think it might be the oldest rivalry in Texas. Bowling at East Bernard is a
smaller school.
Monster.
A lot of people might not know about it. Yeah, but
my goodness. Down in Laredo United at Laredo Alexander. I think they're sneaky to win this one because when they get a hold of something,
if they start voting,
it starts getting crazy. And then Arlington Lamar at Arlington, great matchup in the DFW Metroplex. That's the DQ Big Game of the Week. Remember, follow them on Twitter at DQBGOTW. One last question for Neil Beasley. How many blizzards have you had in your 14-plus years of doing the DQ Big Game?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, blizzards. I got a soft spot for blizzards, no question. And everywhere, obviously, when we go to, we actually do one every week at the DQ store. And they're all, hey, what do you need? What can I get? Come on, I got to get you. And so I feel that I have to take one. It's not that I want to take one every week.
Right.
How dare you?
You're right. Yeah. But I've it's got to be over 100.
All right.
No question.
Then,
and every one of them have been spectacular.
For sure. They always turn them upside down, make sure it doesn't fall out. My question is, Neil Beasley, face and voice of the DQ Big Game of the Week, what's your go-to blizzard? What do you get chopped
Well,
up in
I'm
there?
not sure they still make it, but it's the Royal Rocky Road.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah, it's good. It's got the the chocolate. It's got the little marshmallows.
Well, I'll tell you what. I will if you'll let us come to New Braunfels Canyon with you. I will.
You guys can come to any game you want.
I will buy you. I will buy you a
even
blizzard.
Max.
Whoa! I
Wow.
mean, I was planning on leaving him at home, but okay, that's
I'm
fine.
pretty sure we're not supposed to say my name on the air.
He's Neil Beasley.
Even bleep.
The DQ Big Game of the Week. It's coming to a town near you. Neil, appreciate your time, my friend.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Can't wait.